Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. So as you could probably tell from the title, today I'm going to be building a art gallery, and it's not really like an art center like that, because you can have an art center or art space. I don't know what it's called, but with City Living you can have like an art place with loads of art in. It's not a museum, it's something else. I can't think of the technical term, but it's not that. It's actually a retail store. So your Sims can buy this, they can own it, and then they can put their paintings in it, or they can already use the pre-made paintings, which I spent forever on, but we'll get into that later. And yeah, it's just basically a nice little retail lot for your Sims to own. And I struggled with building this, I'm not gonna lie, because when I searched up art gallery for some inspiration and just like a general idea, so I kind of know what to go with, a lot of the images that came up were actually museums, and I didn't want to build a museum because I will probably build a museum at one point in time, but I wanted to build just a retail store for your Sims to own. It's a bit weird if your Sims own practically a museum. I mean, unless they're the land grabs, then that's completely fine, but you know what I mean. And so I just went for this small-ish kind of art gallery, and I did actually find some inspiration on Pinterest for this, but there was only one picture of an art gallery which wasn't museum, and it was the one that I took inspiration from, and it looked pretty similar to this. It had the big windows, so I definitely used the City Living windows for that, because I wanted it to kind of replicate that kind of light and just a really cool feel. It was kind of industrial as well, so that's the kind of thing that I went for. And yeah, it turned out really nice, but it took me the longest time to build this. It took me like 3 hours to build this, just from generally not knowing what I was going to put in there. Like, I've never built an art centre before, or an art whatever before, and so it was quite difficult trying to figure out like how to make it look okay. The thing with art centres or art galleries is you need a lot of space on the wall for all the paintings, but you can't just have, like, you can't really have no windows, is what I'm trying to say. So obviously I have a lot of windows, as you can see, so it was quite difficult trying to figure out the floor plan and where I was going to put all these paintings. And yeah, it was stressful, but I did it. It's okay. I didn't use all of the paintings which I made, but there's quite a few for your Sims to like buy this lot or whatever, or download this lot, buy this lot, and then they can just go in, and there's loads and loads of pre-made paintings which I made, and you can just download it. And yeah, if you want to add your own paintings in, that's completely fine, but I didn't want to do an art gallery and not actually have the actual paintings from the game in it, because let me just say, the paintings in the game I'm so bored of at the minute. Like, I am struggling with the paintings because I feel like I use the same ones over and over and over again. So I think that's kind of where it might have sprung from, like the idea, because it's just so difficult using the same paintings all the time. And so now your Sims can just go to this retail lot and buy some paintings that they want in their house, and there's so many different types of paintings. Honestly, there's a lot, and like I said, I spent a long time getting all these paintings together and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, talking about a build a little bit more, so as you can see, we kind of did the front, and now I'm doing the back. I would say back garden, but it's kind of like a garden. I thought that sometimes they might host parties or whatever, to showcase their new work, and they have this little back garden area, and it's just got a little bar, and it's got a wall full of flowers, and it's got a little fountain in it. And basically I took inspiration from Sims Camp, and I think it was Sims Camp, I'm not sure, but one of them, there was a wall of flowers and everyone took pictures with it, and I just thought it was a really cool little place. If your Sim wants to go and take Simstagrams or whatever, they like, you can, it's a really pretty place. And I definitely wanted to put the fountain in it as well, just so it's not like a completely block flower wall, and so that's why I do that. But then I do just add some little bits and bobs, and I've just put these fountains in, and yeah. So going back to what I was saying about how long this took me, so it actually took me probably around 12 hours to get all of the paintings together, and I know that seems a bit excessive, but originally I had 2 Sims, and there were just 2 Sims that I downloaded off the gallery, and then I changed their I changed their traits, not their lot traits, their like sim traits, to be the creative one, and I just wanted them to basically be my little work monkey thing, so they can make all these paintings, and that took a while. So I put them in my game, and I created a retail lot, just like a blank retail lot, and I added about 60 easels. I nearly broke my game but whilst I was doing this, and I disabled their like need decay, and I just made them paint, and I made them paint about 20 small like pop art paintings, 20 small abstract paintings, and all. I literally went in a line, and after a while I realised that this was taking a very, very long time, and so what I did is I then created them clubs. Like if you have get famous, if you have get together, you can get some clubs. As everyone knows, it was kind of like the main selling point of the pack, and I created these clubs, and I just made their one thing to do to paint. And so when all of these people started their gathering, I would literally just make them paint for hours and hours. Like it like in this time, like I said, it took me 12 hours. I wasn't even sitting at my computer, I'm not gonna lie. I got up, I had some lunch, I went and had a shower. I did literally loads of stuff in this time. I had it on the quick time-lapse thing, so there is a mod you can download, and it goes, so when your Sims go to sleep, obviously the time goes quicker. There's a mod that if you press 2 or 3 times, I'm not sure it is, you can basically make it go like that in the daytime. So I had that on, and I was literally just doing this for so long, but it was quite infuriating because once my Sims reached the top skill, they couldn't access all the paintings. So different paintings are of different skills, which I didn't quite realise at the start, because what I initially did is I tried to find all of the Sims paintings online, but with like cats and dogs and seasons and stuff, they add new paintings. I don't think they tell people, but they do. They add new paintings and stuff, and so it was just a really long process is what I'm trying to say. But in the end, I don't think I've got every single one. I definitely haven't got every single one in this lot. I basically made them do it for so long, and then I made some separate rooms of my favourite small paintings, my favourite medium paintings, and my favourite large paintings, and then I kind of saved them rooms, and then that's when I got a Sim, put them into this lot, and then got all the paintings which I put in them rooms off of that room. So it was a very long process. Like this took me 3 hours to build, but 12 hours to get all the paintings together from all the different types of paintings you can get, and it was long, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm happy I did it because, like I said, I'm so sick of the paintings in the game at the minute, and so there's so many cool paintings which I hadn't even seen half these paintings before, and it was just really cool to look at all the different stuff that comes with the game, which I didn't know about. I'm not sure about everyone else, but I hadn't experienced them paintings before, so it was definitely really, really cool to find all these. They're kind of collectibles. I love the collectible system in The Sims. I absolutely love that, and so it was kind of like that. It was just kind of finding a new painting, and it was really, really cool, and so I'm really happy that I did it, and I hope that you like this because, like I said, it was a very long process for me to get all these paintings. I could have downloaded them off the gallery, so I know that some people do just do that and they just get all the paintings, and you can get some custom content paintings and all that kind of stuff, or not even custom content paintings, you can make paintings from pictures that you find online or whatever. But I just kind of wanted to do it myself, and so that's what I did. I mean, it was a long process, but it was worth it. I've said it was a long process so many times, but honestly it took me a very long time. But I'm going to stop talking about how long it took me and talk about the build a little bit. So you can see that I've done, I'm now onto the interior and I'm doing the downstairs. I'm nearly done with the downstairs, but I do have one main wall on the, if we're looking at the camera now, backwards, great terminology, but you know what I mean. And there's just like a load of paintings on there, and then I do this kind of like tall half wall, and this is the only time where I actually like properly structure out the paintings like a normal art gallery would, because I kind of have them all like cluttered together so you can see them all, and I kind of like the look of that. But with this half wall, I put them like kind of spaced out so they don't look as cluttered. It's the only time really that I do this, but I think it looks really, really cool. And there's some of my favourite paintings on this wall. I love the little fishing boat one and the other little boat one on the other side, and it's just really cool. I just really, really like it. But now I'm moving on to the upstairs, and I tried to do the same thing that I did just downstairs, but that didn't end up happening. And now I'm moving on to my favourite wall in the whole entire build. So this is kind of like the portrait wall. So there's a lot of portraits on this wall, and I absolutely love it. And I love that big painting on the right. I know that it's probably a famous painting. Well, I say I know it, I think it is a famous painting, but just like Sims version. But it's so nice, and I can't wait to have this in my game, and then my Sims can come to this retail lot and just buy it, and then they can put it in their house, because it's such a cool painting. And there's so many cool paintings in the game, like I said, which I didn't even know about. Like that little lighthouse one is absolutely beautiful. I just love it. And that yellowy kind of orange one, I think that's Bella Goth. I'm not completely sure, but I think that is Bella Goth, because like the black hair and the red dress, and that was quite cool finding that, because I yet again I like found so many new paintings whilst I was doing this that I didn't know existed. And so yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I do want to mention, I did just put a sad paint on the wall and I took it off, but then reminded me. So I didn't actually experiment with the like emotion paintings. So you can get the sad paintings, you can get angry paintings, you can get confident, you can get all these different kind of paintings. I only experimented with the sad paintings, the confident paintings, and the angry paintings, and that's only because my Sims were very, very confident after building all these paintings, and so that's why I did the confident paintings. The angry paintings, I'm not sure, but my Sim got angry at one point, and so I kind of used that as an advantage. And the sad paintings, because it literally took about 2 Sims weeks or something like that, they kept on missing holidays, and so they were getting sad because they missed like New Year's Eve and all that kind of stuff, and so I used that moodlet to the advantage again, and that's why there is a few emotion paintings. But I didn't I didn't experiment with like the flirty paintings or the playful paintings or anything like that. So there still is a lot more paintings for you to find if you would like. If you do download this, you can obviously paint your own and just stick them on the wall if you don't like the paintings that I chose. But these are my personal favourites from all the ones that I downloaded. So yeah, and I'm also not sure whether to put my favourite ones onto the gallery. Like I said, I created 3 separate rooms, one for my favourite small paintings, one for my favourite medium paintings, and then one for my favourite large paintings. And all of them are basically in this build, or you'll see them throughout this build. And so I'm not sure if people would like me to put them rooms on the gallery. So if you don't actually want the art centre but you want the paintings, you can go and get them. I don't know, let me know in the comment down below. If you want that, you can let me know and I'll put it on the gallery, but for now I don't think I will. But yeah, anyway, we're now moving on to the second wall, and as you can see, there was windows there at one point, but I needed more wall space, so I did delete them, and then I kind of added the city living like slats and then put ivory behind them, so it kind of looked a little bit cool, because I did need the wall space. But now I'm just doing another little half wall, and this wall I really, really like. I kind of felt like this half wall was kind of devoted for like children, so if you want a new child painting or whatever, there's a lot of kids paintings on this wall. I didn't put all of the kids paintings out, just my favourite ones. So I love them blue ones, and I didn't actually realise that it was 2 different versions of the blue face. I always just thought it was the same one, but when I had them all together, then I realised that they were 2 separate paintings. But now I'm moving on to pretty much the last wall. I mean, I do add a few more paintings to the wall on the right, but no like big extravagant thing like I've been doing for the rest of the build, but yeah, I just add a few like fruit paintings and just bits and bobs onto this wall, and I just thought it looked really, really cool. And now I'm just putting a little sofa in upstairs. Like, it's just really hard to decorate an art gallery because you don't really know what to put in it, and I was really, really struggling with it, but I think I like the way it turned out. I think it works. It's very spacious, but then again, I feel like art galleries are, because there's art on the walls and not really much in the, yeah, you know what I mean. But anyway, I try and like kind of divide the room a little bit by putting a fence up, so say like, oh, these are the really big expensive paintings, but I didn't like it, and so I just deleted it, and then I just put this Get Famous rug in, and that is my favourite rug in the game. Since we've got Get Famous, I've been using it so much. I absolutely love it. But this is the last little wall that I just kind of put some more paintings for Sims to buy on, and I absolutely love that painting of the dog and the cat wearing the little fisherman hats. It's so adorable. I absolutely love it. And then I just put some, they're like tile kind of things from Get to Work on this wall as well. You can set these for sale, but I wouldn't think that you would set them for sale, but I just put them there anyway. But now we're moving on to the basement, and as you can see, I did actually do bathrooms, but I didn't keep that in the recording just because I felt like it was a little bit boring. But they are bathrooms that your customers can use, and it actually, what I'm doing now is like a basement, but I felt like maybe if you wanted to stay late and do some paintings, your sim could just stay over here, and there's like a bed, there's a little studio, there's like a kitchenette, and just like little house items in here, and so obviously they can just use that bathroom as well. But I'm now only realising that there is no shower, so they might smell, but that's okay. I mean, they could stay over for just one night and then go back home, or if you want your sim to live in this business, which you can do with a mod, you can just add a shower in if you would like to. But now I'm just moving on and just doing the little kitchen bit, and it's just a small kitchen, nothing too fancy. There's just 2 counters, a stove and a fridge. There's not really much that you needed for this. I didn't put a sink in because there is one in the bathroom, and I just thought it'd be a little bit pointless. But yeah, and then I just put some more little cabinets in, and I do actually in a minute add a bookcase and a desk, just in case they get bored of painting, they want to read, or they want to go and play a game or whatever, I don't know. But I just thought it would be cool just to have them in there as well, just in case they do get a little bit bored and their fun kind of goes down. But I do add some more paintings in here, so if you don't like the ones that I put upstairs, there is some more downstairs that you can just kind of swap around and put them in instead, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, and then in a minute I'm just gonna go and do the hallway downstairs just by the bathrooms, and then that's pretty much it for this build. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me build this art gallery. Let me know if you want me to put the separate rooms on the gallery, and I will. But for now, thank you for watching, and if you do like my content, then please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next speed building video. Bye guys.